Good morning everyone. Today we are going to study about adsorption isotherms. It is a small portion actually coming in the surface chemistry chapter. When we studied the surface chemistry chapter, three main terms, that is adsorption, adsorbate and adsorbance. These are the three terms we are using throughout this chapter. So first of all we will see what do you mean by adsorption, adsorbate and adsorbance. Take the very simple example of hydrogen gas that is adsorbing on the surface of platinum. Hydrogen gas on platinum, whenever we hear this, that is a very common reagent that we use for the reduction of organic compounds. So let us take the example of hydrogen gas on platinum surface. So the accumulation of molecular species on the surface of a solid or liquid is called as adsorption. So hydrogen gas accumulating on the surface of platinum is considered as an example for adsorption. Now the hydrogen gas adsorbing on the surface of platinum will be called as adsorbate. That means the molecular species which are adsorbing on the surface are called as adsorbate, and here the platinum surface will be called as the adsorbent. That means the surface on which the accumulation takes place is known as adsorbance. These are the three terms that we are using throughout this section. Okay, now what we have to study today is about adsorption isotherms. We know that there are so many factors affecting the rate of adsorption, like surface area, nature of adsorbate and nature of adsorbent, temperature, pressure, etc. In adsorption isotherm, it explains only about the effect of pressure on the rate of adsorption. And we know that the pressure has effect mainly on gaseous molecules, isn't it? So here in this section, that is adsorption isotherm, we have to consider, or we are considering only the adsorption of gas on solid surface. Okay, we are considering only gas, adsorption of a gas on solid surface. So again we can take the same simple example, that is hydrogen gas adsorbing on platinum surface. Now what happens when you increase the pressure of this hydrogen gas, which is going to adsorb on the surface of this platinum? Very simple. When we increase pressure, more and more gas molecules can be easily adsorbed on the surface of platinum. And this effect of pressure is explained using adsorption isotherms. And we know that whenever we study the effect of pressure, temperature must be kept constant, because we know that when temperature changes, pressure of gas also will change. Now, then what do you mean by adsorption isotherms? Isotherm term is very familiar to you. Iso means same, therm is a term connected to temperature. So isotherms are graphs which are drawn at constant temperature. Then what do you mean by adsorption isotherms? These are the graphs which explains the variation of amount of gas adsorbed on the surface of a solid adsorbent with pressure at constant temperature. Now there are so many adsorption isotherms available. Among this, the most common adsorption isotherm is Freundlich adsorption isotherm. So what we have to study is Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Freundlich. He was a scientist who gave an empirical relation to explain the effect of pressure on the adsorption of gas on solid surface. The relation can be written as x by m is equal to k into p raised to 1 by n, where x is the amount of gas adsorbed, m is the amount of or mass of solid adsorbent, k and n are constants which depends on the nature of adsorbate as well as the nature of adsorbents. Now pressure, we know, capital P represents pressure. Now I am going to plot an adsorption isotherm. To plot or to draw an adsorption isotherm, I am taking x by m against y-axis and pressure along x-axis. So first I am going to draw an isotherm. We said that to study the effect of pressure, temperature must be kept constant. So first I am going to draw an isotherm at 150 Kelvin. So at 150 Kelvin, when I increase pressure, what happens to x by m? Yes, as x by m increases, as pressure increases, x by m increases. That means more and more gas can be adsorbed on the surface of solid, and finally it goes parallel to x-axis. So this is an adsorption isotherm which is drawn at 150 Kelvin constant temperature. Now again, if I want to draw another isotherm at a higher temperature, let it be 250 Kelvin. Where will be the position of graph? Will it be above 150 Kelvin line or below 150 Kelvin line? Yes, it will be below 150 Kelvin. The reason is that as temperature increases or when we increase temperature, these are gaseous molecules. So the kinetic energy possessed by gaseous molecules increases, randomness increases, disorder increases. So it is very difficult to hold or adsorb the gaseous molecules on the surface of a solid. So as temperature increases, definitely x by m will be decreasing. So if I want to draw another isotherm at a higher temperature, definitely the graph will be below 150 Kelvin. So next I am going to draw another isotherm at 250 Kelvin. So again at 250 Kelvin, if I increase pressure, x by m also increases. Then finally again this line also goes parallel to x-axis. Another isotherm, if I am going to draw at 320 Kelvin, another high temperature, then again the graph will be below this line. Then at 320 Kelvin, if I increase pressure, more and more gas can be adsorbed, but the amount will be less compared to the other lines. And at high pressure goes parallel to x-axis, and this is the isotherm which is drawn at 320 Kelvin. Now, there are two main observations, or what are the observations from this graph? So here I have drawn three adsorption isotherms, one drawn at constant temperature 150 Kelvin, the other one drawn at 250 Kelvin, the other one another higher temperature 320 Kelvin. Then what are the main observations from this graph? The first observation is what happens at constant temperature. At constant temperature, what happens? At constant temperature, let us take 150 Kelvin temperature. When we increase pressure, x by m also increases. That means amount of gas adsorbed increases, and at higher pressure goes parallel to x-axis. Why it goes parallel to x-axis? The reason is We know that here the gaseous molecules are absorbing on the surface of a solid. So slowly when we increase pressure, the gaseous molecules will be absorbing on the surface of solid, and finally at high pressure the whole surface of the solid will be covered with gaseous molecules, and this condition is known as saturation. So what happens at high pressure? The whole surface of the solid will get saturated with gaseous molecules. Then so further there will not be any effect on the amount of gas absorbed, that means x by m with pressure. Now the second observation we have to consider at constant pressure. At constant pressure what happens? So let us consider this constant pressure. At constant pressure what happens when we increase temperature? At constant pressure, when we increase temperature, the amount of gas absorbed decreases, and the reason also we explained, due to increase in kinetic energy and all. Okay, now how we can verify this equation, how to check whether the equation is correct or not, this empirical relation is correct or not. So verification of Freundlich adsorption isotherm. In order to verify this equation, once again I am writing this equation as x by m is equal to k into p raised to 1 by n. Now take log on both sides of this equation. So how it will be? Log x by m is equal to log of k into p raised to 1 by n. Then in maths we are learning log a into b is log a plus log b. So this can be written as log x by m is equal to, this is in the model log a into b. So log k plus log p raised to 1 by n, and we know that in maths log x raised to n is n log x, or log a raised to x is x log a. So how we can write this equation as log x by m is equal to log k plus 1 by n into log p. Now how we can verify this equation? By plotting a graph. By plotting a graph, by taking log x by m against y axis and log p against x axis. Then why we are plotting log x by m against y axis and log p against x axis? Because this equation we can compare with the straight line equation, that is y is equal to mx plus c. Y is what we are plotting along y axis. X is what we are plotting along x axis. M is called as slope of this graph and c represents the y-intercept. And we know that the x and y should be variables. And on the right hand side of this equation, why we are taking log p as x itself? Because the other two terms are constants. The only variable here is pressure. So log p represents our x. So we are plotting log p against x axis. So the term coming along with x represents em, that is slope. So here the slope will be 1 by n. And c will be, that is the y-intercept will be log k. What do you mean by y-intercept? When we draw a line, the point at which the line touches y-axis. So I am going to draw the graph. Hope it is clear to you. So I am going to draw a graph by taking log x by m against y-axis and log p against x-axis. So we will be getting a straight line, and as we compared from this equation, the y-intercept, how to find the y-intercept of this graph? Extrapolate this graph towards y-axis. So this point, straight line you have to draw, okay. So this point is representing what? Log k, and we know that this is a 0, 0 axis. So this portion, this point or this portion represents the y-intercept, that is log k, and slope of this line is equal to 1 by n. And as I told you, 1 by n can have values between 0 and 1. So here we got a straight line, so this equation is verified. Now next we have, there is one drawback for this Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Hope it is clear to you, because what is the main drawback of this equation? Because it fails to explain what happens at high pressure. From the graph it is clear, because at high pressure the graph goes parallel to x-axis, that is independent of pressure, and we studied the reason, because it is due to the saturation. The surface of the solid is getting saturated with gaseous molecules, but that could not be explained based on Freundlich adsorption isotherm. That is the one drawback. Now the next topic is, next we have to study about adsorption from solution phase. Let us take the adsorption from solution phase. Let us take the example of acetic acid shaking with charcoal. There are so many examples of adsorbents. Charcoal is one of the best adsorbent, where the accumulation can take place with maximum efficiency. So suppose if we have a concentrated solution of acetic acid, to this I am adding charcoal, powdered charcoal I am adding, and I am shaking. So what happens? The acetic acid molecules will be adsorbed on the surface of this charcoal. So what happens? The strength of the solution, the strength of acetic acid decreases. So acetic acid molecules are adsorbing from solution phase. So this is an example for adsorption from solution phase. Another very familiar example, when we do the confirmatory test for Mg2+, that is Magnusson reagent test. The Magnusson reagent itself is blue in color, and that reagent we are adding to the white colored magnesium hydroxide precipitate. But when you add Magnusson reagent to this white colored magnesium hydroxide precipitate, what happens? These precipitate will adsorb the colored particles from the Magnusson reagent, and the precipitate becomes colored. So the precipitate is adsorbing particles from the Magnusson reagent. So another example for adsorption from solution phase. The adsorption isotherm, the Freundlich adsorption isotherm equation can be applied here also. All the factors are same. The only difference is the pressure term we are using only in the case of gaseous mixtures or gaseous phase. In aqueous phase or in solution phase, instead of pressure, we have to use the term concentration. So the equation becomes x by m is equal to k into c raised to 1 by n. This is the only change in the equation. To verify this equation, we have to take the log as usual. So it becomes log x by m is equal to log k plus 1 by n into log c. The only difference is in the here, instead of log p along the x-axis, we have to plot log c. The y-intercept same, log k. The slope will be same as 1 by n. Y-axis we are plotting the same, log x by m. All the other factors are same, except instead of pressure we are using concentration. So this is about the adsorption from solution phase or aqueous phase.